Hello out there in uncensored radio land, our little family. Welcome back to Assigned Seating, which is our breath of fresh air new movie review show. We started with one of the biggest movies of all time, and this week we're going a little bit of a cult classic because with this show we can talk about anything just as long as when you're a fan. So I am Steve, and today I have with me the grand poobah of all things uncensored radio. He's here. He's here. Mr. Jeffrey Emmett is here with me. How are you, sir?
Hello, darling. I'm actually having horrible anxiety looking at these chairs underneath me, thinking about my ass would not fit in them.
It's all right. It's a good thing about talking about movies online. You don't have to go to the cinema.
I
You can,
know.
you can just relax at home and watch it on your own, whatever you'd like.
It's my
So,
favorite. It was loving COVID.
your best life. But we are not talking anything modern today. We are going back in time again. Back to the 80s. There's only two of us today because today's movie is all about its two stars. And I thought, who better to, play against my straight lacedness than Mr. Jeffrey Emmett? We are going to talk today about 80s. I'm calling it a classic. I don't care what anyone else says. Uh, Comedy, Outrageous Fortune, starring the one and only Bette Midler and Miss Shelley Long from 1987. Now, seeing that image takes me back. Like, I remember
Hmm.
going to the video store. That this used to be a constant grab for me. It was like, I have my parents to blame. My father and mother, well, r slash were both huge Bette Midler fans. So, they actually took me to see Beaches when it was at the movies at the cinemas. So, they played
Mm.
it. I really had no choice. They obviously wanted a gay child. Um, so much so that I even went and saw her in Las Vegas. That's how much the Bette Midler has been ingrained into me. And I remember watching this movie first with my family on VHS. That's where this movie comes. Like, that's what brings up for me that cover, like that beautifully drawn cover as well. Like, oh, such a lovely piece of art. But this
That
one gives me warm, squishy remembrances.
it's actually how I ended up watching the movie. You know, my little gay ass as a child. The shoe falling off of Shelley Long always bothered me that she lost her shoe and it was a high
Oh
heel.
no.
Um, so that's actually how I ended up renting the movie. I was so obsessed with the high heel falling off her. I picked the movie out, took it home, and I watched it by myself, and then made my mother watch it after. Uh, and yes, so for a long time I would do quotes. You know, I was a kid that I loved quoting movies, and it was the time that I could get away with swearing because it was okay
Because it's a
if I
movie
was
quote.
doing yes, if I was doing a movie line, I could get away with it.
Yay. It was, yeah. And there are some choice moments in this movie which I'm sure we will discuss.
It's a
Now,
little problematic though, Stevie. I gotta say,
it
before we even
is,
get
look,
into this, it is a
there's some
totally racist movie. I was a bit horrified watching it as an adult in 2022. I was like, oh, this doesn't play well.
we have had this conversation on the
Cringe.
main show, on the live show as well. Um, Especially now that we're going back with this show and reliving movies from the past, I don't
Yeah.
think that you can judge them by today's standards. Vera and I have this conversation all the time. Art is indicative of the time it was created. That doesn't mean for better or for worse, it was the right
Right. Yeah,
attitude to
you're not
have,
gonna
but it
throw the
was the
whole
attitudes
movie
of the
out.
time.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to
So,
understand when it
look,
was made.
there are some squeamish cultural cringe moments in here, but it was the
Yeah.
80s. This is how we thought of things as a society. back then. So you can only look at it as a historical document. If you are offended by anything by this, I would suggest you probably don't watch the movie. But if you haven't seen it yet, it came out in 1987, so I don't know what you're waiting for. But let's talk about it to start with. This casting, I mean, you could not get two more different characters and like perfectly portrayed by these two women. Of course, Shelley Long was huge at the time. This is post Cheers for her. She was
Mm-hmm.
a movie star, and Bette Midler was, the brash
That
bathhouse babe that's, taken over the world. Jeffrey, let me guess who your favorite character is out of the two.
Go ahead.
Would it be Sandy Brzezinski, Bette Midler?
Of course, yes. I'm related to her, right? I mean,
Of
I
course.
loved Shelley Long. I mean, I loved Cheers. I was a weird kid. I enjoyed Cheers, and I loved Troop Beverly Hills. And I actually didn't really know.
We have to do Troop
Oh,
Beverly
yeah.
Hills. I
But
love that movie as well.
I didn't know really that much about Bette Midler as a kid. I didn't see a lot of her stuff. So I didn't actually really know Bette Midler outside this. I just thought she was hysterical. The whole over the top thing was a riot to me. But it's hysterical now as an adult watching interviews of them promoting this movie. And they're like, would you ever work with her again? And she's like, I don't
She's
think
like,
so.
no. I don't think. You saw the Oprah interview too, didn't you?
No.
No, at least bet straight down the line because, well, Shelley, of course, back in those days, we wouldn't have known that Shelley Long actually had some very serious mental health issues that obviously went undiagnosed for a long time and probably hampered her career, I would say, because after the
They
80s, she kind
killed
of
her
she disappeared
Modern Family without even being on the damn show.
after
That
getting
can't
her
be
on
a
there.
good
Do you know what I
sign.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that can't be a good sign.
Yeah. So look, Shelley Long in this movie
And it's a
as Lauren
shame.
Ames is the quintessential New York actress. She's struggling, but her
Stick up
parents are
her
quite
ass.
rich. Stick up her, high achiever in everything she does, fencing, ballet, whatever it is, but just can't crack the acting thing. It was great. It very much put me in a place of mind. I went, it's the Will and Grace building. As soon as
Oh,
the
yes,
movie
yes,
starts, I'm like,
yes.
oh, Will and Grace. It's like, yes. It's so
Yeah.
funny. I was like, wow. So much has changed. Not really. The more things change, the more they're the same. So we've met Lauren and we can see that she's, type A, high functioning, best at everything, and she wants to study with a Russian acting coach, Stanislav Koronowski. But she needs $5,000. I love the scene where she goes to her parents and
Oh my god.
they will not let
Yeah.
her mother will not let her in because they can't afford to give her any more money.
Was she trying to be like the sister or something? She's doing
Yeah,
the voice.
sister-in-law.
She's like, it's me, your sister-in-law.
Yeah. She's like, oh, wait, step in front of the camera. Hi, Mom. Don't let her in. We can't afford it. She owes us $30,000.
You don't know
And of
that she's
course,
here for money.
Yeah, one of those. She's daddy's girl. So daddy floats her a check for $5,000 and she can go and do the course. Happy days, happy days. Now, in this time, she also meets a mysterious school teacher with a heart of gold that she starts to fall in love with after making him a pumpkin.
The way he says
As you
pumpkin
do.
really just always struck me.
Pumpkin. The shaved
Yeah.
pumpkin? No, the vegetable. So
And he
funny.
couldn't only go more than $25 because he was paying for it out of pocket for some poor little kid who
Well,
didn't
he's a
have the house.
struggling school teacher, Jeffrey. We know they don't
Struggling.
make a lot of money.
Mm-mm.
We know they don't
So
make a lot of
sad.
money. So sad. But Lauren has her money. That's the most important thing. And she struts into the Koronowski school, not before passing a very vocal woman on the street. Which is the first time we spot Bette Midler, Sandy Brzezinski. Give me back my fucking quarter! She trying to make a phone call, and I think that's the best part of this movie is it's complete coincidence that these two characters come across each other.
Yeah.
Bette's looking for a phone. Like Sandy, all Sandy needs is a phone, and she wanders into the office. This scene is so funny. Like I can't even deal with it. Like
Oh my God.
when she's on the phone trying to convince Howie from the phone company to give her an extension on her phone bill.
I've been in the hospital.
What am I supposed to do? Drag myself down to there? Down
With
your
the
ass,
IV?
Howie. Yeah. And Shelley's trying to perform. Shelley. Lauren is trying to prepare for her audition. Like full actor mode, and it's amazing. And she is just brassy as all get out. She is doing full Bette Midler at this point, and I love it. And she goes to make the next phone call and just snatches. I wish I could have got the screenshot of Bette going. Like full hands and everything, looking at it like.
You know what? I bet you ain't been laid in a month.
12, in a year.
Yeah,
in a year, because Lauren has just said that she hasn't had sex in a year, and then she's just started to get. She's just met Michael, so they haven't slept together yet, but they do.
Yeah.
Long story short.
Yeah.
But after this meeting, we find, Sandy's got a boyfriend too, who just happens to be one Michael Santos, who is dating Lauren. So he is double timing these two ladies that have seemingly no idea of each other and no idea of the situation. Very, very interesting. So, long story short, because, Sandy's an actress as well. She decides that she's going to audition for Koronowski because she's a movie star. She's better actor than Shelley. Remember, you saw Ninja Vixens.
Oh, I guess I must have.
I guess I must have. I know, it's so good. So they end up both being chosen for the acting school, which really, really.
But Sandy got a scholarship.
She got financial aid. She's not happy about it. She's not happy about it. Just bullshit him.
It's bullshit anyways.
Yeah. So they come across each other in the hall after some. We get a graphic sex scene for the 80s of both ladies going at it with Michael. Oh my! Oh my! God. One of those nights, huh? And you can just I think their off-screen chemistry that didn't work quite well together works very well on screen for the characters. You get that they don't like each other, but they're kind of forced into this situation, and it pays off so much more as the movie goes along. We get that also that Koronowski is not the most level-headed acting teacher after he tries to throttle one of his students in the middle of class. It's fantastic.
What acting class would be complete without?
I know, right? And then we also get Lauren getting shot. Big. 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 And he automatically calls her out for relying on her training. so offensive, etc., etc. It's like, oh, but I love it. I just love this. You can tell that something's going to happen. This movie is so the course it takes is so strange, and that was part of the course for these '80s comedies. Like they start off at one point, and then you end up at a complete other point because we think it's just going to be this like little star-crossed romance kind of thing. You're dating my man until Michael gets into a taxi with Lauren. He stops to get her flowers, and all of a sudden, the whole flower shop explodes, killing its owner and Michael. Also, we're to believe. Now, this leads to the next classic scene. And
God.
Even the way it's shot, like both women end up at the city morgue looking to identify the body. I love that you don't see it when they enter.
Yes.
And it all happens behind the closed door. And so, like, you can see their outline and you just hear them react to each other as they discover that they not only share an acting coach and acting class, but they also share a lover.
I'm in mourning.
So am I.
For my lover.
Well, so am I. We might have
Michael Santos.
We have to get some TikToks and do a reenactment. It'll be great. It'll be amazing. But then we cut inside, and Bette has a handful of Shelley's hair, and they get physical in this movie. Like you don't really see a lot of. I feel like physical comedy has kind of gone by the wayside a lot. Like since the early 2000s, we got like the gross out kind of like
gross
meta comedy, like making commentary on stuff. This is old school slapsticky, like let's throw each other around the room.
I like to play Spot the Stunt Double.
Yeah,
you could really do a drinking game to it.
Yeah, it's good when it's especially
like when
when
they're
it's bad.
rolling around on the floor. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Like you really have to pay attention, but yeah. Especially in that scene. They're rolling around on the floor. They knock the sheet off. And then
he lowered himself and they're on their knees and everything.
Yes, great. Scooting across the floor.
Scooting, like, just, you can tell that they spent the time to do that and work it out and, like, make it funny.
It was choreographed.
They weren't relying on their acting. They're not relying on the script to do the work for them. They're in the game. That's especially when you're doing comedy on stage or on film. That's some of the best stuff, some of the stuff that you come up with on the fly and chuck in there and have fun doing. So as you said, the sheet does come off, revealing a very burnt body, unrecognizable from the face, apparently. But there's one thing that they can agree on. Face is just...
That's not him.
That's not him.
It's
like a pencil. It looks like a pencil. So Michael is quite well endowed, and the corpse is not. So there's a conspiracy theory already. There's no mole. There's no appendix scar, which leads to excitedly embrace and then realize that they hate each other. But now they have to prove that the body is not the body. So they decide to go to the police. And one of the most iconic lines of this movie.
And this is where I got in so much trouble as a child because it became my favorite thing to say.
You've got to do it. You've got to do it for the people.
I thought it was hysterical. Where Bette Midler is so pissed off because the guy's not understanding. And she said, hey, Michael was not another guy. Or Michael was not the type of guy other guy would make fun of us in the locker room. Okay. Does the phrase, needle dick, the bug fucker, mean anything to you?
Brilliant delivery, and then the girls are removed,
Thrown out.
thrown out of the county lockup. This is where the movie starts to take a twist, a very weird twist, because the CIA are on their tails. The CIA out of nowhere, because we discover as they're looking for the body, or looking for Michael, they try and hunt Michael down. They think about where he would go, where he would be, who he would see. We get a very funny exchange in the cigarette shop, tobacco store, where
that was good.
Sandy uses her powers of persuasion against. How about $20? How about a blowjob? And you just see Shelley Long die inside. That's amazing. They go to each other's apartment. They find, however, Lauren's apartment is being ransacked by Russians. So the KGB. So this is how 80s this movie is. The KGB are now involved as well. The KGB and the CIA are involved. They flee.
So
Lauren's
ironic,
apartment.
though.
I know. It's very timely. We're going back in time.
You know, now
We go
everybody's
to
okay with
Sandy's
being a
apartment.
racist, so I guess.
We go. I know, right? We go to Sandy's apartment, and again, this is one of my favorite parts. Oh my God,
they you too. Relax. This is how it normally looks.
Of course, Lauren is mortified by this, but the size of that apartment.
It was such a bitchin' apartment, but I feel like we've seen
New
it
York
in something
City?
else before. Right, for a
New
working
York
actress who
City?
can't pay her phone bill.
I know,
And then she had a
barmaid.
bicycle in her fucking bathtub. I'm like, what is going on in that bathtub? She's got a workout bike in there. It was amazing. Epic.
But we also find that she is quite progressive when it comes to her fashion trends.
Oh, she's leaving with the Christmas ornament.
You defiled a Christmas tree? Nobody saw.
It's sex.
Nobody saw. So eventually, the ladies do actually track down one Mr. Michael Santos, only to find out when he tries to kill them that he's a double agent, working for the CIA and the KGB. This is where it gets weirder still. We've gone from, you've got my man to, he has a biotoxin that is going to wipe out.
Right. Like only an 80s movie.
Like bio terrorism that's going to wipe out all vegetation for hundreds of thousands of miles.
Oh, and they had to go take a cab ride. They got robbed, and they were like,
yeah. So
she's like, oh my God, we're gonna die. And then she's like, relax, we're gonna get raped and murdered in here.
Yeah, sure. We're not gonna die because we're gonna get raped and murdered in this building.
Yeah. And then they like a little kid tries to hold them up with a water gun. They rub some drug dealers, and then they get a whole bunch of money. And then what is that lady from Night Court? She was on some TV show in the 80s, at the airline. And
yes, okay, I did. I was going to rewind to this right now. She is amazing. What is her name? I've got her here. She is Florence Stanley. Her name is, and what's Florence Stanley meaning? Come on, Florence.
She's a bunch of voiceovers.
My Two Dads, Barney Miller. Yeah, she's been in heaps.
My Two Dads. You can't count on me. No matter where you go, you can't count.
So sorry, I did skip this part, but I'm going to go back to it because it was my favorite. This is my favorite part of the movie when they're trying to get access. Also, how easy it used to be to get into an airport.
Right.
Well,
I remember as a kid, like you could go and like as they're walking down the terminal, you'd wave at the window and watch the plane pull off.
Craziness. But this is my favorite part when they try and convince the ticket agent to let them know the passenger list.
Please, no. She don't. No, Tom.
Sit no, Papa. I am Anna. This is my sister. I was like, oh, it's not appropriate, but God, it's funny. Sit no,
She
Papa.
don't speak
Me and my
English.
best friends still do this line to each other all the time. Sit no, Papa. Sit no, Papa. Just cry.
No, Papa. No, Papa.
And then they get rewarded for their horrible acting turn. It's amazing. And the money. She throws away all that money.
Oh, that bothers. Like, why wouldn't you pick some of it up? Why'd you have to throw
Before,
it all?
before they head to Albuquerque,
Like, I just can't. That haunted my whole life.
I know. But also in these movies, how quickly planes take off as well.
Yeah.
like they're not sitting on the tarmac waiting for 20 minutes for clearance, cross-checking. No, they're just
doesn't
like,
matter
close
that
the door,
the government's chasing you with guns. No.
We're gone.
We're gonna let the plane take off. See ya.
It's crazy.
And then that son of a bitch tries to kill him.
He does. He goes all crazy, but not until we meet. And again, the ladies are the strongest part of this movie, but George Carlin in this movie is so funny. So inappropriate, but so funny. He plays a faux Native American / Indian who is just basically drunk all the time.
Says he's a tracker or whatever, and the ladies
he's
in a whorehouse. Oh my God! Yeah, it's all. This is where the movie really gets it. Like
goes crazy.
Like
it goes crazy.
It's like, oh God, jeez. Yeah.
It's cultural sensitivities are not, are not.
Not good. But I'm like, what? Most movies in the 80s, I'm like, all the ones that I watched as a kid, I'm like, oh God. Yeah, they're all of them riddled.
But the CIA and the KGB are still after the ladies, so they end up tying everyone up to a cactus and leaving them for the coyotes. That's what the coyotes get you first. It's great. I love it. They are just them in the desert is hilarious. on the road.
Laura I imagine gets her revenge.
She does, but I can imagine. I imagine your Bette Midler when they're on the road, just screaming, crying. Yeah, anytime it's hot, Jeffrey can't deal with it.
Yeah, I'd be the one laying down in the middle of the road. Just run me over. I'm done.
With your heels coming off. Your heels coming off, and so we can get into a truck.
It would have been me. Yes.
It would have been me. It would have been me.
I'd have been like, you either running me over and I'm done with this, or you're stopping. Either way, we're leaving.
So we do end up with, as we were talking about, Lauren is captured by Michael and is, going to be used as a pawn, I guess you would say. And this is where we get, Sandy admitting that she likes her and she's her friend, and that's like that turn in all the 80s movies where they go, oh, let's jam at the heartstrings a little bit.
She's the only friend she doesn't have.
Yeah. And look, I think that's part of Bette's charm too. She plays these big, brassy, bigger than life roles, but you forget that she's a fantastic actress. Like, go back and watch some of these movies. Like, it's such a pity that she disappeared a lot after that 80s as well, that she had this huge moment in movies.
She was of a certain age.
Yeah, like
you think about the advertisement for Hocus Pocus. They were like, "Oh, Bette's back doing what she does best." Like that's what you know what I mean? Like they made that. It's like, oh, her comeback is that she's playing a witch and she's an old woman. That she was this old hag in the 90s. And even in,
she had done.
The one with the three of them, with her Goldie Hawn, the First Wives Club. You know what I mean? She was a
First Wives Club. She was the frumpy middle-aged lady. Yeah.
Yeah,
she had Beaches. She had Stella. She had For the Boys. Oh, that movie kills me. For the Boys is brilliant. You have Jeffrey. Have you not seen For the Boys?
I'm sorry,
My
my
God,
internet connection cut out. I couldn't hear what you were saying.
it will destroy your heart. And even in the TV movie of Gypsy, she's brilliant. I love her as an actress, so I'm glad to see her
I
back
haven't
at
seen The
the
Rose. I haven't seen Beaches. I haven't seen
I
For the
totally forgot the
Boys.
Rose. Jeffrey, you need to do some homework. You need to watch
No.
all the sad Bette Midler movies now.
Oh God, I don't know if I can take
Isn't
it.
she great? Isn't she great? That was good too when she dies. It's very sad. She's done some great movies. But anyway, we're off track. We're talking about how good Bette Midler is. We get the tip off go wrong, and Michael again, physical comedy. There's a rumble. Bette gets thrown off the cliff, or sort of.
Oh my
Like,
God!
oh shit!
Ah, rats! Broken.
Basically spitting a nail out. This section of the movie always gives me. I can't. I have a thing with heights, and
Oh, I would have
this
died.
part of the movie
I
just
died.
always makes me like shiver.
Steve,
Lauren
I can't lean off my front porch without starting to fall.
Oh no, that's not good.
No, no.
So this
that toxin would have wiped out America.
Oh, that would have. But Lauren takes it all in stride. Literally, we get a throwback to the ballet opening where she's doing the jetés for life, and she jumps across. I know that this didn't actually happen, and it's movie magic, but even that, like that shot, makes me go, oh god.
Yeah, but it's interesting because obviously when they were filming it, right, they had the green screen or whatever, and then they had the stage rocks that they had set however far they had. And she jumped somewhere, right? Because they had a close up of her. And then whatever stunt double they had that actually jumped the distance in between the staged rocks they had on in a controlled environment. That was still an incredible distance.
It was a big leap. That was a lovely leap. As a dance teacher, you're like, oh, beautiful, lovely form. Lauren
survives the stunt double was.
Yeah, probably a dancer, I would imagine.
Yeah. 9 years of ballet, asshole!
As he falls to his death, and that's really the end of the movie. We do get a lovely little turn at the end because Lauren was always a serious actress.
I love,
and she wanted to play Hamlet. Oh, that'll be great. So we get the very capping scene of Lauren as Hamlet with Bette next to her with Sandy, so they're friends and they're love and life. And
can you believe they bought that shit?
I know, get the voiceover in the titles. Excuse me?
Did you call my Hamlet shit?
Shit.
So like Shelley Long, I think, is one of my favorite actresses to play a neurotic. Yeah, like she just does it. I mean, she can play many, many different characters, but she does that character so.
She does fish out of water very well too. Like, you've got to think her character in Cheers was the same. Her character in Troop Beverly Hills is the same.
Well, Troop Beverly Hills was very eccentric,
but she was still in an environment that she was under no control and had no experience in. She was very much, going and subject to it. We do have to talk about it because that movie, along with this, I think every time I hired this movie, I might have hired Troop Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills.
I don't know. It was a good time, and even though you think like these for a female-driven movie,
they did well.
They did well.
It was a success.
$52.9 million box office. So,
off a small budget.
Of a very small budget. So, it is a pity that they never. I don't know that they would do a sequel, but like that they didn't work together again.
Yeah, because it was good.
Yeah, they had good chemistry, but maybe that's because of their differences that they had.
Right.
And yeah, Shelley Long would go on to kind of of dip out of culture and disappear. But Bet is a constant. Bet's going to be back bigger than ever by the looks of it in Hocus Pocus 2. It looks like
Very
she's.
interesting.
It looks
Well,
good.
there's
I'm
even
ready for
drama
it.
already with that.
Yeah, there's always going to be drama, isn't there?
It's exciting though.
Have you seen?
Kathy and Jimmy
Have
was
you,
like in what Kim Cattrall's tweets. Not Team
have you?
Sarah Jessica Parker. I'm like, oh.
I know, but have you seen the new promo image that's on Disney
I,
Plus?
I've seen the trailer.
No, there's a new promo image of the witches in flight.
I
So
have not.
Winifred's on her broom. Sarah Jessica is on like a modern day vacuum cleaner. And Mary, Kathy and Jimmy, is riding two Roombas like they're skates in the air. It's amazing. I'm ready for it. So, Bet, we will see you again soon. Shelley, I don't know where you are, but thank you for this movie. Thank you for doing it. It was brilliant. It's one of the ones that has really stuck in there in my childhood, and it gives me. I can watch it over and over again, and I haven't watched it for a while. I watched it last night, and it's still every time laughs like not just like her. I'm like, oh my god, why are you bitches so crazy? I love it.
They're great
I would. All right,
comedic duo.
give me how many stars out of 5, Jeff? How many stars are we giving this one?
Oh God. Taking out if I pretend that it's not racist, I give it 5 out of 5.
Wow, that's a big one. That's a big
I
5
love
star.
that. You know what? I love any movie that has female leads and they're kicking ass. I'm here for it.
And the comedy is still relevant. It's not.
Most of
It
it.
wasn't. Yeah, like I mean like the
The
style of
comedy
comedy, like
between them, yeah.
between those two
yeah,
characters and the way that they act together
yeah.
is they're very strong characters alone, but when you throw them together, that's where the magic is. You know, I'm going to agree. I'm going to just because I love Bette Midler and Shelley Long is amazing, and yeah, this is a childhood classic to me. This was my childhood, so it explains a lot, really, doesn't it? That we've both
Right,
seen
why
this
we're so
movie.
fucking weird. Yeah. Just fucking fly. Have you seen Madhouse with Kirstie Alley?
I have not.
Steven. That's
I
another one
know.
that's got some humor that's like, oh, no.
Oh no! Oh no! No!
But
No!
another
Don't do
one
it.
that's just as crazy. Just as crazy that I'm like, oh, if you like Kirstie Alley, like in anything she's done, it's one of those ones that's like, oh, this is
Juicy.
yeah.
So, as always, we're going to put it out to you guys as well. If you have suggestions on movies that you would like us to review, this is the show we can do it on because we can do anything and everything from box office extravaganzas like Star Wars, where we started, to little 80s niche comedies like this. We are going to go all over the map. It's going to
Wow.
be different casts, different casts all the time.
I know what's
It's going to
coming
be
up.
familiar faces, not so familiar faces.
Looking
And,
out a dirty old window. Oh my God,
it's
is this like a
coming. We will
Noxema
do
commercial or what?
Clueless is on the books for some time, but we're going to go all over the map. I've got to just thin
Steve
down
and
the
I are
cast of
both
people.
friends because we know what it's like to have people be jealous of us.
We do. We have to thin down the cast because everyone wants to do Clueless. Everyone's like, I want to do Clueless. I want to do Clueless.
Sorry.
But
I think we should just get approval, pay some money, and we should have a script reading.
just everyone get their part.
And we'll read the script. Yeah, we'll act. Vera can be Miss Stoger. It's kind of more Katie McCarthy, isn't it?
Miss Stoger. I live. But there's a couple of classics that are on the books already. I'm not going to spoil them. There's some 80s stuff. I would love to go. There is some, yeah, 80s, 90s. I would love to go back and do some even older stuff because I'm a film studies major from way back. So I love a lot of different films. So even if you have a suggestion or you would like to be on the show to discuss something, drop us a comment in this, on this show and let us know the movies. And if you're an expert on something, we love an expert because there's movies big, huge movies that I haven't seen, that I don't know about, that other, like we have a breadth of experience, but some things I've never seen any of the Harry Potter movies. I've only seen like a handful of the Star Wars movies.
That's fucking weird.
I've said this on the live show before. I think we'll have to do something about it. I've never seen Goonies, and I'm a child of the 80s. Let that sit.
Okay, I know I'm in Beaches or whatever, but Goonies? How have you never seen Goonies?
I haven't seen Goonies.
I've got it on Blu-ray, digital, VHS, DVD. You're watching it in America, bitch. And
we'll have to watch it.
We're live tweeting. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna live stream.
Okay,
we're gonna do it live. We're gonna watch it and we're gonna talk live on. Yeah, we'll say that. We'll make that special.
We'll do some. Well, yeah, we're in America soon. We're gonna do a live version of.
We'll live tweet and live TikTok.
We're gonna do a live uncensored horror after we've taken Jeffrey to see Halloween Ends for his birthday.
If they kill Kyle Richards, I'm done.
It's all over. I'm done. The whole franchise is done.
It's done.
Thank you so much for joining us today, everyone. We hope that you have enjoyed Outrageous Fortune. If you like Outrageous Fortune, leave your opinions. Leave us some stories some movies to have a look at. And remember to buy your ticket and sit in your seat next time that we are here. We'll see you again soon. Thank you for joining me, Jeffrey Emmett.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.